What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? Today we're going to be going over an anti-evolution video where a guy claims this.
Right, in the beginning, God created heaven and the earth. God made all this. It did not all come from some big explosion.
So yes, we're going to be going over his video, and I'm going to explain why he's obviously wrong, but also how most anti-evolution arguments really just boil down to this particular type of mindset. So, if you're interested in this, then please stay tuned.
Shalom everybody. Now, the reason why all you can see is the sky is I'm doing this for a particular reason, for a very good reason, right? Now, just look at that up there, right? Now, look at that up there, right? There is a God, right? So you look up to the sky there and you see that there is a God.
Actually, when I look up into the sky, I see Raleigh scattering. That's where the sun, its rays are being scattered in the atmosphere, and it's scattered in such a way that the blue light is scattered the most, so the sky appears blue. I don't see the sky, I just see our scientific knowledge, I guess, because, like, you know, in the past, we hadn't been able to explain why is the sky blue, but through basically removing our heads from the of God, we've been able to explain a lot of natural things that happen in our world. But it seems like this guy still has his head up God's ass.
There was truly a God. I mean, who made all that? It was God.
No, God did not make that. God didn't do anything. You started out with the presupposition that God exists, but you see, you have to actually prove that God exists first. But the fact that we can explain why the sky is blue or why the sky looks the way it does without the need for invoking God kind of seems to point in the direction of God not needing to be there in order for the sky to be blue. So I don't know why you are saying that God is the reason why sky's blue, because the sky is blue because of Raleigh scattering.
Just as the Holy Bible says, as the Word of God says, right here, just as the Holy Bible says, as the Word of God says, it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God, or in Hebrew, the Ruach of God, moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. God saw the light, it was good. And God separated the light from the darkness, and the evening and the morning were the first day.
So many questions. We know that it was physically impossible for light to exist, like, immediately when the universe was created. Alright, so when the Big Bang happened, the great expansion of the universe, that happened, and then, like, hundreds of thousands of years later, light started to form. So it wasn't immediately that light formed. I mean, it was like a long time after the Big Bang happened that light started to shine in the universe. We know this, like, with near certainty that this is how reality works. So you saying, oh, God created the heavens and the earth, and apparently the earth was just full of water at one point, for God to move across the waters or whatnot, like, none of that actually makes sense in reality. So I can only assume that you are not in reality either. Like your perception of reality isn't actually reality, is what I'm trying to say. But none of that in the Bible is actually verifiable, and you're basically using the word of, like, scientifically ignorant people trying to explain how this world came to be in the limited amount of knowledge that they had. You're taking their word over better scientific knowledge, like actual scientific knowledge. It's very telling, and this actually gets at the heart of why some people reject a lot of science, is because they would rather appeal to this ancient tradition type thing rather than look at the actual evidence, because the actual evidence says that we don't need their God in order to explain why the earth is here.
God made everything. So if you are an atheist or you don't believe in God, my question to you, sir, with all due respect, is sir/madam who doesn't believe in God, who is an atheist, just come out at night, come out in the daytime, come out and look up to the sky.
Nobody made that. Nobody whatsoever made the sky. The sky just is there. Regardless of whether or not we're here, that doesn't mean that God made it. Also, you're like coming at this from a presuppositional stance. And I get that is a stance that a lot of people take. But you see, you can't just presuppose a magical being in the sky created everything out of his farts or something. You have to be able to actually prove it.
Now, do you honestly expect me to believe that we all came here from a big bang, that there was a big explosion, the universe formed, and we all came from nothing?
Well, you see, the scientific version of nothing, the actual real version of nothing, isn't actually nothing at all, because even in the absence of all matter and everything like that, empty space still has a charge. So it's never really nothing, right? And that's where a lot of these anti-evolution people sort of come at it from. They think that the Big Bang, which, sidebar, they often conflate Big Bang theory with evolution, and that's because of the flaw in their own ideas about the, reality in general, because their particular idea conflates the beginning of the universe with the creation of life. So what they have to do is they have to mash together multiple different scientific theories. They have to meld them together in order to compete with their one explanation. So I usually give them a pass on mixing the two up. I usually state that, these are different things, but I'll go ahead and cover why you're wrong on the Big Bang. Anyways, back on track. The universe didn't just bang out of nothing. There was something there. We don't know what the universe looked like prior to, or what reality looked like prior to the Big Bang, but we do know what occurred after it. We can say that with near certainty, because of how we know the universe to operate, and because we know that the universe is uniform in how it operates. Also, I love how every single anti-evolution person not only brings up the Big Bang in conflation with evolution, but also they think this is how the universe formed in the Big Bang theory.
Smoke weed every day.
That is by far going to be my favorite animation thing that I've ever done up, and I will use it till this channel goes under. But it really does amaze me how they think that just like the Earth popped into existence out of nothing, and that the Big Bang just popped whole planets into existence out of nothing. At least that's how he makes it seem here. I don't know if this is how he actually thinks the Big Bang theory works. Just like with a lot of flat earthers, they have to straw man the scientific position of the Big Bang theory, abiogenesis, evolution, all that. They have to straw man it in order to make their particular solution look more viable.
No way, absolutely no way. I mean, what garbage, man, is that? I mean, that is absolute garbage, man. I mean, how the hell do you expect me to believe that? I mean, that is garbage.
No, it is not garbage. I get that you think it's garbage, but just because you're personally incredulous about the Big Bang Theory, abiogenesis, and evolution, and the plethora of other scientific theories that come in between those, doesn't mean that they're actually garbage. And I would agree that the thing that you said is garbage, but that's because that's not what the scientific theories say.
We did not come here because of a Big Bang. We came here because of God.
I would love for you to prove it. Please provide your evidence. I would say that I'll wait, but I've been waiting since I became an atheist, and there still has never been any kind of evidence. All you guys have is really just rhetoric and using my holy book.
God made us. And even those flies there you see flying by the camera, which are close to the area here in the garden I'm recording this video, even down to them little insects, those littlest, even down to those littlest of insects, flies, spiders, even God made them. So I mean, how do you expect me to believe that all this got here and we all got here any other way? I mean,
nature's a scary fuck, okay? There's a lot of nature that you never want to face, face to face. You saying that God created nature and all of the little creepy crawlies on the earth and everything like that, God created everything. I don't think that you actually want to admit that because of how scary as fuck nature actually is. So maybe you want to look into I don't know, some of the scarier parts of nature, there's some parasites out there that'll fuck you up. What about all of the different diseases that have occurred? Oh, that's right. You guys want to say that it's because a woman ate an apple and then convinced her man to eat the apple too. And so God got pissed off and cursed all of humanity forever, and therefore we have to feel guilty about it. Which, by the way, never really happened, but you guys want to blame the fallen world or the fallen state or our sin for it. So basically, all of the bad shit in reality, that's our fault. All of the good, wholesome shit in reality, God did that because God is only good and wholesome. I don't know if you can detect how pissed off this makes me, but the fact that you can compartmentalize in that way and you can blame yourself for shit that you had no part in is just mind-boggling to me.
I will give you an example. What would you think of me, right? What would any of you people who are going to be watching this video, what would any of you people, my subscribers, or what would any of you people think if I told you, let's say that, one day there was a big explosion in the printing factory and out came the Oxford Dictionary, or, one day there was a big explosion in the Opal factory and out came, and out came 50 Opal Severas. I see over there was an explosion over there one day in that piece of land and this new house came out.
Well, I would explain it with this.
Smoke weed every day.
It's the exact same kind of logic that you use for the Big Bang Theory. Again, I'll repeat, they must strawman the scientific position in order for their position to look more reasonable. That is a very basic tactic of any anti-science type of rhetoric, is to strawman the actual position, knock that down, and then present your own position as the better, more viable option.
I mean, what the hell is that? I mean, no. You would roll your eyes and think I was nuts and say, oh man, we gotta get this guy to a mental institute.
No, I mean, I wouldn't take you to a mental institute, but I mean, I would, vehemently say that you're wrong, because you are, and I would try to explain to you what the actual scientific theories are. That's what a rational and reasonable person would do, not take you to a mental institution.
Well then, how come you can say that about God? You can say, I know there's no God. I mean, sure, the universe was evolved from a Big Bang, humans evolved, the universe came here because of a Big Bang, human beings evolved. No way.
Okay, so... Alright, I get it. You don't think that evolution's a thing or that the Big Bang Theory's an actual thing or anything like that. I understand that, but whenever you go infantile like that, my only reaction is to laugh. And that's not out of disrespect or anything. It's just so hilarious how incredulous you are about the actual information. Oh, also you have to prove how all that shit doesn't make sense. Of course, the way that your rendition of it doesn't make any kind of sense at all, but I'm talking about the actual scientific theories. See, a lot of people just want to use rhetoric in order to disprove scientific theories, but you can't do that. So you need actual proof that we were actually not evolved from proto-apes, that we have in common with other apes in the great ape family.
As the Bible says, as the Holy Bible says, as the Word of God says, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. And then God said, let there be light, and there was light, and God saw the light that it was good, and so on, right?
Why have we resorted to just repeating ourselves? Do you really not have any other points to make other than reading your holy book?
God made all of this, and on the sixth day of creation, God made man in his own image.
And God made man by sneezing in some dirt, and then he just sort of rubbed it around a little bit and popped Adam, and then Adam started bitching because he couldn't fuck any of the other animals and reproduce in the Garden of Eden. So God's like, oh shit, well I guess I gotta make him a woman. So what he did was he roofied his ass, put his ass to sleep, and then he reached in, ripped out a rib, and then he just sort of jerked on it a good bit, and then poof, there was a woman. And that's how man and woman started. Do you see how more viable this is compared to evolution? Evolution's a fairy tale. That shit is real. Jerking off a rib bone and sneezing into dirt has more explanatory power than your fucking science.
In the image of God, he created him. Male and female created he them. Right? In the beginning, God created heaven and the earth. God made all this.
which you have no evidence for other than your holy book. And there have been plenty of other religions in the past that have come along and said the exact same thing with just as much evidence as you have. So why should I believe your holy book vice these other holy books or these other religions out there that claim to have like the actual answer to the creation of the universe? I'm not hearing any kind of compelling thing other than you waving your holy book in my face.
It did not all come from some big explosion. I mean, that is absolute garbage, man. Please. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. Amen.
Yes, I will say everything that you presented here is garbage. Now y'all listen up, you hear? Well, y'all need to get right with God, realize that he farted out the universe 6,000 years ago, and he lit his fart in order to create light in the universe, then he spit on some dirt, jerked off a rib, created humans because Adam couldn't fuck of any of the other animals in the Garden of Eden, and then that's how life began, okay? And you just need to accept that, and you need to accept that we're all guilty for all the bad shit that happens in the world. Those parasites that love to eat at your brain and shit, yeah, those are our fault because we ate an apple from a snake. And then the woman, which if you didn't know, women are the source of all our problems, right? Women, they convinced man to eat the apple and disregard what God said, even though we didn't know that it was wrong to disobey God because we didn't know right from wrong. But hey, if you look at the details of the Bible too closely, then you'll realize it's bullshit. So let's not look at the Bible too closely. Just look at it as a superficial thing, or ask your pastor about it. He'll set you straight. Do you like my rendition of a creationist? I should just put that up on a totally unknown channel and see how many people fall for it. I don't know. Anyways, that's it for the video today. I hope that you guys appreciated it. I will see you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.